Sir, you're charged with especially aggravated kidnapping. You're also charged with aggravated assault, and you're charged with theft of a firearm worth less than $2,500.
You're talking about stuff that is not relevant.
Hello and welcome to the Court of Public Opinion. I am the recovery addict, and boy do I have a case for you today.
Why is the dog chewing on this guy?
I think they have got the wrong guy there.
Got the wrong guy, and the dog was biting him.
He roughened him up quite a bit. There's a lawsuit.
9 out of 10 judges prefer watching the recovery addict's live stream in their court.
The fireworks are not done.
Now we're getting commentary on the case. Dati mihi Anglican priest verbis Latinus.
All right, I can't do the transition there because my iPad is missing. I think it got appropriated by somebody. Okay. I wish they'd bring the jury. We do not have a verdict yet. Let's see what we can do here. We have the party horn, but we don't have the verdict. Eddie, it's okay. You can watch over there. It's fine. You can watch over there.
I was back, taking it easy.
Let me get that to go away. Let's do this. Oh, that's not the right one. How am I going to do this without my machinery? Let's see, upstream key. I can run it all on my phone. That's not it. Let's see, we need this one on there. There we go. That's the right one. Now this one, we have to make that one on there too. There we go. Golden Girl, congratulations. Being first in chat this afternoon. Jury is doing the math thing. They're doing the math things. That is a cushy chair. It is a really cushy chair. But Golden Girl, thanks for being first in chat. I think that was you right at the very top saying hi. You won the internet for the afternoon and the evening. It's important you keep it up and running because that is the way we're going to be notified when the jury actually comes back with a verdict. So it's all resting on your shoulders, Golden Girl. I think you can do it. Wonderful. Thank you very much for being here. Let's switch to this guy right here. Nothing from the courtroom yet, unfortunately. I'm watching all sorts of notifications, but so far nothing. And I'm honestly a little surprised. I did tweet out earlier, how long before someone makes a video montage of Mr. Sykes only coughing and snorting as his entire closing statement? I haven't seen the video yet. If no one makes one, I think I might make it tonight because it needs to be seen. Nobody wants to watch it, but it needs to be seen because we felt like we all watched it already. It needs to exist out there. I'm in a little square. I'm back in my box where I belong. Everything is good. Yeah, maybe we're wrong. Maybe we completely misread the jury. Maybe they saw something we did not see. Maybe they want to see some more Pictionary. See, I was on a call and had RA on in the background waiting, and then the intro music started playing, and it was blaring. Awesome, Matthew. That's great. I don't have, and let me tell you this, Mrs. R.A., this is her busy day. She's got, she teaches a class. She has like a youth class that she's one of the co-teachers on, and then she's got it's sort of like a book club that she does that's online as well, and she's doing that, and then she's got like a third meeting as well on Zoom, and apparently all of them have to be on the iPad that I have normally right here next to me. I was going to do a little bit of checking. Then I saw you guys giving me a hard time for not being back on the live yet. So I jumped in. I was just going to pull up a little game online. There's a little skiing game you can play where you zip down the hill and try not to hit the trees. I'm trying desperately to find it. I know I've played it before. It might just be on the mobile device. But let's see if we can search ski games. It'll probably get me a copyright strike for showing something, but let's see. Crazy Surfer, no. Alpine Ski 3. Downhill Snowboard. Board Runner, that's a good one, but no. Okay.
I was
I'll look for it. It's out there somewhere. Alto's Adventure. There's a game out there that I need to find. I was going to share it with you. Let's see. They no video games for me. I shouldn't. Thank you. I shouldn't. I was just going to share it with you guys. That was my excuse.
I don't consent to that name.
Ski Free is a classic. I think that's it. Is it on a mobile device? I think it's on mobile. I'm searching. We're just chilling out right now. We're actually a little surprised. Most of us, I think, almost half of us thought we would be done by now, and so we're sort of waiting here to see what's going to happen. Skiing Yeti Mountain. That's a good game. Ski Free. Oh man, that's a great one. Okay, I might pick that one up. Let's see the.
Alex stole it as well. Taking it easy.
Might be a bad sign. Lisa, I agree. I can't imagine what is going on. And the reason why is because the only thing that I think would take time in this case is figuring out damages. Honestly, that it's got to be the math. I don't know what else would do it.
That is not relevant.
Matthew, I'm not seeing it yet. I might actually open up the burner phone, even though that's my only mobile device to get updates on, to get your feedback and everyone's take on the case. Not just yours, but like in general, your feedback, Matthew. I know you've got clients and stuff, but I think we might do an open phone Thursday, because tomorrow's Friday already, which is crazy. We're all glad that it's done. I love Owens, but I'm so glad I don't have to hear him. Same with Sykes. Although I anticipate having to edit an hour-long video of him just clearing his throat and coughing. So I will do that. I'll take one for the team and do that. RA needs to buy Mrs. RA her own iPad. She has two. That's the thing. She has one that she's running her lesson on, and another one that's running the camera back and forth over Zoom. So she has two. I guess arguably three. I have one of them. I have her old one that is a little broken. Let's see. Let's play a game. I've played Putt-Putt Golf and Crazy 8 on Discord. Fun. Our next case, tomorrow we're going to focus on Sarah Boone, because that is Sarah Boone Day. So we're probably going to have a short day as we focus on that. The other trial, the Alan Brown, is that his name? Yeah, I think it's Alan Brown. That trial we watched the verdict on during a break today. All guilties across the board. That was great. For chorus, it's hard for a country boy to milk a cow. I grew up in the city. Yeah, I think all those quotes, I'm going to take Sykes' whole closing, like his whole portion, and just I'm going to first import it to my machine, grab it and pull it into Final Cut, and I'm just going to chop it down to the parts we want, and it's going to be every single cough and every snort, and I'm going to cut out all the other bits. That's pretty much going to be it, except if he's got some one-liners in there. I'm a city boy, don't know how to milk a cow, just a country lawyer. We'll have those too. Can't believe no one's called the burner yet. Everyone's they're kicking back, taking it easy. Nice and quiet afternoon. That's all right. No problems. Let me see. Gwyneth Paltrow, Verdict Watch. Jay is posting The Shaming of Jay on Twitter. He posts some great stuff. And it's fantastic if you get there. It's well worth downloading Twitter just to watch his tweets. I've got to figure out. It's hard for anyone to milk. Yes, that's true. You were doing it wrong, apparently. Did you ever get Sarah Boone's letter to Governor DeSantis? Not yet. I need to call them again. I still haven't called the court to get them sorted out as they need to get Sarah Boone's letter updated.
Raw iPad fund.
All right, iPad fun. Thank you, Jared T. Appreciate that all the way from Australia. I believe that's what the A's for. Very much appreciated, my friend. Appreciate the support. Let's see, we've got kicking back, eating a spreadsheet. Lisa, call in, redeem yourself. Lisa's across the pond, and I don't want her to have to call in because it would cost her money. It doesn't cost me anything, but it costs her money. I don't want someone to have to incur expense to contact the burner phone. We've got to figure out another way to do that that would be a little easier.
Bring the jury.
Jenny says, I won't be here tomorrow. I have some work things to do until 4:30. Bummer. We're gonna hopefully have some updates about Sarah Boone tomorrow. I'm going to check the court really quickly while we're waiting because, somebody's calling in. It's Rebecca. Rebecca, good to hear from you again.
Hey.
How's the mosquito counting going?
Oh, my goodness. I counted all the traps today.
Oh,
let no dead horse go unbeaten.
Sorry, it's not me. You know that. What's on your mind?
I just wanted to call in again and say hello, and it's been a great day. If I had to listen to that attorney stuck up that crap up his nose one more time, I was just gonna get sick.
So you're not going to rewatch. Disgusting. You're not going to rewatch the video I'm going to release late tonight of the collection. Not even just a little bit, just to give it a like, so you can then jump out again.
I'll like it, but
just turn the volume down, and you'll know what's going on in the background. It's good.
Oh my goodness! Between his coughing and his nose deal, I'm really surprised that the judge did not say something to him.
He did early on in the trial. He's like, "Hey, take care of that cough. Do something about it." And he's like, I'm popping Fisherman's Friend cough drops, but that's not enough.
No, at least wear a mask.
Yeah. Rachel K., we sort of love Owens in that we love to hate him a little bit. That's the comment there on that I've got highlighted on the screen. It's not that he was fantastic. It's that he sort of grew on us in his. I know it's like watching a clown at the circus. It's not that.
Yeah, he was okay. You never quite knew what was going to come out of his mouth.
He had moments of good, like good lawyering.
Yeah.
Where the cross where he was very direct. I think one-on-one he is, where he's like pinning someone into a corner. He's good at that. He's not good at doing that and looking like the nice guy, which he tried to pull off and did a miserable job at. But young James Egan, what a stud. He's got 5 years of experience, and there's there's 120 years on the other side, and he does the closing and did a pretty good job.
Mr. Clark Kent, my gosh. He was like a stud muffin, huh?
Well, I wouldn't go that far. I'll let you make that determination. But he was impressive. He really was.
Young buck.
He's probably going to have a great career, honestly.
I'm sure he will.
I'm sure he will. Most likely the biggest case he's handled as far as notoriety goes. And that will do a lot for someone in... the people that see him and like him, this is a huge advertisement for him as your lawyer. So whichever, I'll have to find out what firm he works for. I'm pretty sure he's not a partner right now. Okay, he's a little young to be a partner.
But. He meant business when he was up there. He didn't fool around. And the other ones who wanted to crack a joke and say things off the cuff, if I was their client, I would be upset.
Yeah, the other ones that tried to crack jokes, I watch that and I think back to Pride and Prejudice. I think that's the movie where you've got Mr. Collins who has practiced some jokes in the mirror, some one-liners, and he thinks he gives it this unstudied air as if it just thought of it on the moment. It doesn't work. We can tell we're not buying it. We're not laughing. The whole country lawyer thing, it was just lead balloon.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That was ridiculous.
Really funny. So you're done counting mosquitoes for the week, right?
No. They set traps today, and they'll start bringing them. They'll pick them up tomorrow morning, and he'll bring me like 7 or 8 around 9:30 in the morning. They'll go in the freezer, and after lunch, I'll take the traps out of the freezer, and I'll count those 8 traps, and then he'll come back in with the other 22 traps, or however many, 20 traps.
So you sent me a picture of one of the traps covered in mosquitoes. You said there was like 3,426 mosquitoes on it or something.
Yeah,
like that.
that was actually, I had dumped out the trap into a tray.
Okay.
Yes.
So I'm sitting here looking at that, and I've actually got a solution for you that would actually help everybody. Set out a bunch more traps and catch all the bugs, catch all the mosquitoes, and then we'll be done. No one will get bit. You won't have to do any more. I mean, it'll be one big day of counting, and then you'll be all done. So.
And all done. I wish it were that easy, Scott.
Well, don't say we didn't try to help. You know, that we're thinking.
I know. Thank you for the suggestion.
Not a problem. Anybody else you wanted to shout out to or to say, well, you're on here?
Just, I love coming to your channel. It's so nice, and everybody gets along, and it's just a pleasant place to be.
It is, and it's because people like you are on here. Really, Rebecca, thank you so much. I appreciate the call. Appreciate the chats and the texts and the pictures of the mosquitoes. They're all great. Thank you very much. We'll talk to you soon, I'm sure. Okay.
Buttercup says hi.
All right. Give her a pat for me. Thank you. We'll see you, Rebecca.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye. All right. I do have pictures of mosquitoes from Rebecca. She does actually, her name is Bite Me with a mosquito on YouTube. She does count mosquitoes. That's her job. That's pretty cool. Let's see. I'm just constantly checking Twitter to see if there's some updates here. I'm not seeing any. If there is a verdict, we've got about 20 minutes before they read it in court, which is enough time to apparently get Gwyneth in there if she wants to be there. I'm not sure if she does. Okay. Nothing yet. All right. So still no verdict. Nothing exciting. So you guys made me come on here for nothing. It's good though. Let's see. Let's switch here so we can watch that. I'm using these buttons and it's not working. I need my iPad back. Let me ask Mrs. R.A. if she has my iPad ready. I don't think she is. Oh, we've got another call. Let's see who this is. Come on. Where's the call?
Call from
Kathy.
Kathy, hello.
Hey.
Are you there? How is it going, Kathy?
It's going good. I just wanted to pop in because starting Monday, I'm going to miss you because I have to do Letitia's daughter, however you say her name, on mod on another channel.
All right.
And won't get to watch you.
Well, we may be jumping over there. Depends what happens with some other things, but we might follow some of that as well. So we'll see.
I have to mod.
But you've got a mod. Mod duties are very important. I understand how important they are because we have some amazing mods here.
Yeah, and then we've got the audio that will be coming in from Bella Day Bell.
Yep.
So for the next however many weeks, I get no sleep.
Yeah. No, sleep is for the week anyway, so it shouldn't be a problem. So, that's not going to be fun. The Vallow one.
No, but
that's going to be tough. I'm so frustrated that the judge hasn't changed his mind on that and allowed cameras in the courtroom. It's crazy. He's releasing the video. He's releasing the audio at the end of the day. Why not just get it with video early?
I have words to say, but I can't use them on your channel. So
I appreciate you forbearing. Yeah, it's frustrating.
Yeah, I have lots of words for this, especially being, close to a family member.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's super frustrating. I think the system needs to have the openness so that we can all see that it's fair. And just learn about how the system works. It's important for the society to know what happens in courts. And unfortunately, it's only the high-profile cases that really bring that to the attention of most of the populace. Nobody knew that what court was until Johnny Depp and Amber Heard had their feud, and then people learned a lot about court because of that, and that's beneficial that way. But
right, but yeah, unfortunately, court TV kind of blew it for everybody to get to watch video.
Yep.
By putting the camera on Her Highness.
It's frustrating.
I can't even say her name.
No. Yeah, it's frustrating. Hopefully, we'll regain the ground that was lost and get back there, because I think we should. I'd like to see courts in the federal cases. I'd like to see the Supreme Court arguments done on camera. I want all this live. I want everything. That's all I ask.
Oh, I would love that. That would make me so happy. But I thought, I'm not going to be able to watch you for at least 5-6 weeks.
Oh my goodness, Kathy.
And
we will miss you.
I've never called, and I wanted to tell everybody, hey, and I'll miss you, and I'll try to pop in if I can.
That's awesome.
But
can I ask if you're willing? What channel are you modding on? We might pop in and say hi over there to you.
The docket.
The docket? Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome,
I know you follow him on Twitter.
I sure do. So he's been quite active on Twitter this afternoon. So cool.
Yeah, he's kind of forgotten how to tweet.
I saw that. He was asking Eric for a little advice. I saw that over lunch. But let's see.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'll be modding. He's going to be covering Letitia during the day, and then he's getting the audio from Daybell, and doing that at night.
Yeah, and more power to him. That is 2 full-time jobs that he's doing right there, and that is just going to be. I mean, he's going to rely on you more than I think to help him out there as a mod. So, great work over there, Kathy. We're proud of the good work you do. Somebody has to do it, and I think you do a great job.
Thank you. And can I just say, I want everybody to. I put on Twitter a picture of Kay Woodcock and JJ Ballo. If people can retweet that would be awesome, because Judge Boyce is trying to keep her out of the courtroom completely.
Did you hear that? Kids are popping balloons. Scared the daylights out of me. I'm sorry about that. Let me pull up your tweet here really quickly, Kathy, and I will retweet it as well.
Actually, Amber's got it.
Okay.
I retweeted what Amber tweeted because it was easier. I like the way she worded things. So
Amber says, "Hey, Judge Boyce, Kay Woodcock is JJ's biological grandmother. Larry is his grandfather. Krisha is his biological aunt. Lori cannot take that away from them." That's the one we wanted to retweet.
No, that's Precious video, but there's another one that has a picture, and it says, "This is a grandma."
The four hearts. Okay. I'm going to like that and retweet that myself. That way, if you're following me on Twitter, you're going to see that as well. And we'll get that going.
Thank you.
It's already had 1,466 views. Apparently, we'll get that number up a little bit for you and maybe get some traction there.
I'll tell you, the family appreciates it, and the family appreciates everybody in this chat that supports them.
Awesome. Kathy, thank you so much for all you do. I appreciate you calling in. We'll miss you, but
thank you.
Don't forget where we are when you're all done. Come back. We want you back.
Of course. I'll still, I'm sure my courthouse color will change by the time I come back, but
that'll be great.
I'm not going to stop that. But
thank
all
you,
right.
Kathy.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
It. All right. Have a great day.
Right.
We'll see you. Bye.
You too. Bye.
Awesome. Let's see. Cass says, "Recovered. Why does someone get to say, 'Don't film me' when they walk in and are televised and are okay with that?" They don't really get to say, "Don't film me." A lot of people are under the misconception that I own my image and nobody can use my image without my permission. And there's in some way, yes, but also in some ways, no. I need the rest. Or does she need the rest? I don't know. I'm fine without it. I got the iPad back. Hang on. There's some ways yes and some ways no. Hang on. Let's see who this is. Oh, come on. Come back. Where's the call? I know you're out there. There it is.
Call from Joe. Joe.
Hello, Joe. This is Recovery Addict. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm good. I love your reactions when the pop sound happened, and just some of your reactions from something that happened in court. You're very entertaining.
Thank you. Sadly, we've heard news of active shooter situations in different places, and so I'm thinking about that, and then all of a sudden, boom goes on. I'm like, I might need a new chair.
Yeah, I kind of figured it was. I kind of thought it was like a balloon or something.
Yeah,
but,
it was a balloon.
Your reactions.
My kids are doing a science experiment. They actually they're homeschooled, and they've got a string stretched across the living room, taped to both sides. There's straws on the string, and then tape on the straw, and they tape the balloon to the straws, and they're blowing it up and then letting go, and it's rocketing back and forth. So they're doing something with physics right now, but apparently some of the balloons are not surviving the test. So.
Yeah, I always love the science experiments with my kids when, they're almost 30 now, so it's been a long time ago. So, but my daughter did get a degree in biology, so she definitely loved the science.
Yeah. Well, is it JoJo or just Joe? Heard Joe twice.
Just Joe.
Just Joe. Okay.
Joe from Ohio.
Joe from Ohio.
Yeah.
What are you thinking on the case here? Or as the jury's out deliberating, what in your mind? What are they talking about? What's the decision?
I'm quite surprised that it's taking as long as it is. My opinion is it would either go for Gwyneth or just neither.
Yeah,
I just.
Sorry, there's a super chat that's trying to read in the background. It's confusing. Go ahead. So either Gwyneth or neither.
No, yes, that's how I would rule. Definitely, I would not rule for Terry. There's just been too many. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I agree. The problems for me with Terry is when he gets on the stand and he testifies and basically gets caught in a lie. He lies to his doctors about being blind. He says, I say things differently depending on to get people's attention, and he's like, I use words differently than how we use words. It's like, Terry, you can't do that. You can't tell us your story and say, believe every word I'm saying, and then also say, I lie to people to get the response that I want. To me, he's lost the credibility.
Right. And yes, and when he brought up something about children on an island, I was like, what is he even talking about?
Goodness. His lawyer could not sit down fast enough. She's like, all right, no more questions. Done. We're out of here. He's gone off his rocker.
Come from?
I don't know. I think that does show just a little bit in his fascination into this and the need to get justice, and he's anything that paints her in a bad light, he's latched onto. And I think there's a report somewhere that she you might find her name and that island in a news report somewhere. And I don't know anything more than that. I'm not saying that there's any involvement on any way. It's just they might be found in the same article.
I don't even know what island they're talking about, but
it's better that way. Honestly, you don't want to know.
Yeah.
It's not good.
Yeah, I get my news from reputable news. I don't go off on to these extreme news networks. I've never done that, and I'm not going to. But I think that Gwyneth, she doesn't really care if she wins. She just doesn't want him to win.
I think that she would be perfectly fine if they just said no one was at fault, and then she can just go back and do whatever she does. So,
and it's weird stuff, but that's her right. She can live her life how she wants. She can sell whatever products she wants. That's not my problem. Yeah. But I agree.
And she's worked hard for what she's. People can look at her as a uppity person or whatever, but she's worked hard for that. And I don't live that life, but I'm happy with my life, and she's happy with hers. So
awesome.
We're all happy.
Thank you, Joe in Ohio. Appreciate you calling in. Thank you so much. It's not hard, right? First time caller. It's pretty easy.
Yep.
All right.
So get the verdict hopefully here within the next few minutes. I'm surprised it's taken this long, but
I agree.
I'll keep watching.
All right. Thanks a lot, Joe. Appreciate you calling. We'll see you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
All right. We had a super chat come in there with Joe. I apologize for the super chat ODD. It didn't get read. I can try to play it if my phone will let me. Just one second. I have to turn this off. Oh, wait. It will work. Because I've got my iPad now. Everything's good. Never mind. I take back everything I said before. I can make it work. We're going to play your super chat. It deserves to be played. Come on. Trigger.
I think Terry wildly over-exaggerated his injuries, but I do believe GP ran into him.
That's the wrong one. That's the wrong one. Why is it not playing the right one? OD. Let's try that again.
I think Terry wildly over-exaggerated his injuries, but I do believe GP ran into him.
I don't know, OD, why it's saying that instead of the other, but maybe you sent another super chat with the other. Oh, that's right there. You did too. That's why. Okay, I apologize. He over-exaggerated. Thank you very much for both super chats. I apologize I didn't play the first one properly. That was my fault. All right. Remember when Terry said he brought the lawsuit because he was insulted? His definition of being ignored is an insult. I categorize ignorance of me as layered insults. Yes. A little bit of an issue there that maybe he needs to talk about with his psychiatrist. I think would probably be beneficial. Congratulations on 10.1K. I didn't know he hit it. Thank you very much. Loves Wood Heat. That's awesome. It's super exciting. We've got, but GP is not blind. He says he's not blind, but he tells his doctors that he is. And so the doctor's reports report that he's blind in one eye. And so he wants the benefit and, on both fronts. Sorry, I'm still checking the Twitter here for results because that's where they're going to come in on the verdict watch. Woo!
Alex stole it.
Alex stole everything, apparently. Okay, nothing yet. I'm blown away. This is not what I expected. I was expecting to have my lunch cut short I was expecting the lawyers to get interrupted by the bailiff saying, "Oh, the jury has a verdict." But no. Nothing. Utah with the Utah. I don't know what the reference is, Cachette. I missed that one. Does Terry drive? I think he does. I haven't heard any testimony that he didn't drive, and maybe I just wasn't paying attention because there were a couple parts that were a little slow. Let's see, Cass. What's up with Cass? Matthew. Okay, that's what. Okay. Deliberating time 2 hours. He drives while reading. He might ski while drinking. Apparently, was sort of what they were getting at in the closing. Had a long lunch. All right, so there's nothing really to pick up other than that. Just want to make sure there's no other trial that we can watch in the meantime, or a high-speed chase as well. Play the Pink Panther theme. It's not that's not open. I mean, that's not royalty free yet. I can play other music that works. And we can do that. We'll have this one. Terry told his doctor he was blind, though. He told 3 doctors he was blind in one eye. But he used the term loosely. He says, I say blind in one eye when I mean can't tell texture on some surfaces depending on the light. So, usually things are 100 years to be in the public domain. That's as far as books go. High-speed car chase would be great right now. If anyone sees one, let me know. I'll pull it up. Yeah, I realize there's some major court proceedings in the political world. We're not going to touch it for now. How late does the jury stay to deliberate? I doubt they're going to be much later than regular business hours. We're probably going to be... Let's see, probably another hour. At the most, hour and 15 minutes. Yes, Weather Watch, we can do that. If you got some nasty stuff coming our way as far as weather, thank you, by the way, in advance. But we can pull you on for that. Let me get you set up here. Of course, you're going to have to give the weather report to this music. Okay. Here we go. Zoom meeting going. Oh, I'm all set up from my last meeting. Need to turn off, blur my background. Okay, I think we're set up, Weather Watch. I think you're good. I'll even turn on the share screen options for you. Oh, that was the wrong button. There we go. Okay, about 10 minutes. Yeehaw to the Texas music. We'll start that again when you start. So we'll keep an eye on the Twitter feed as we're waiting for the jury to come back. Man, Twitter is blowing up, obviously, with the political events of today. Political/legal events. Very bad wind here in Ohio a few days ago. Knocked trees out. Was it like a microburst or a larger storm? Where's Ivan? He's out and about. He'll be around. Weather Watch, I can make a legit weather update package for you along with the sound and breaking news music. Cachette. That's amazing. Weather Watch, jump all over that. That's a huge offer. That's huge. Yeah, thanks, Matthew. We're trying not to get into the Trump indictment issue. We like a nonpartisan environment. Not that it should not be talked about. Don't get me wrong. I don't believe that there are topics that are just not okay to talk about in public, and that politics is one of them. I think, as a matter of fact, politics is a great thing to talk about in public. I just think that this format, that the YouTube environment with chat, with limited 200 characters of text, that you're with a 60-second timeout, it's not the best. It's not the best format for that, and it makes it very difficult. And it's very easy to pit our differences against each other instead of building on our commonalities. But in person, I would love to sit down and have a great discussion, probably much like the one we have about trials, with anyone about political opinions about anything. I have my own. I do have my own political opinions, strongly held even. They have changed over time a little bit. I've been convinced of certain things where I thought one way and then changed a little bit later. It's not, I haven't flipped sides of the coin, so to speak, but But yeah, I'll pin this real quick for you, Matthew. Thank you very much for that. Just pickles, no politics here, right? Stan the man, thank you for clicking the subscribe button, indicating to everybody that you are in fact a true crime addict. Welcome very much appreciated. Yeah, politics would heavily divide the chat. It would, and politics divides everything. Generally, politics are about 50-50 nationwide, and we don't need those here. Honestly, there's a forum for it, and I think it's great. I should run for Senator Congress. The problem is I don't trust myself with that power. Honestly, I look at people that run, and I might seek out a candidate and say I really like what they're saying. I like what they're how they've behaved up until now, and then they get in office, and then it's like I really liked them before they were in office, and I wish they had done what they had said. And it's hard to find somebody who can run for office, get that power, because it is power, and then stay level-headed and say, this is what I'm going to stick to, and I'll continue to represent the people the way that I said I would when I voted, not like, oh well, now that I'm here I see things differently, I see the bigger picture, and it's frustrating. I don't know. I honestly, I don't trust myself. If I had that power, I don't know how I would prevent it, because the people I've voted for in the past that have done this, and I realize I'm talking about politics, and I'll stop right here, but the people I voted for in the past, I thought these guys are so much better than me. They're so much, their direction is, they know where they stand, they know what the issues are that they're representing, what's important to them, and I thought, here's somebody who's like way better at being me than I am at being me, and I voted for them, and I've seen them struggle once in office, and I think I don't think I could do that. I don't think I could not fall prey to whatever is affecting them. So I probably won't. I may serve on a city council type level, because I do love local politics, but not anything bigger. Anyway, enough of the politics. I will say I finished all my pickles today, spicy maple bourbon pickles. Had a new gate put up today to my backyard, so I'm singing that happy song, says Debbie. Awesome. Love the complete backyard where little furry creatures can run around. Rachel Wood says, I'm here now. I was watching the replay. I even missed the poll. You can see current comments even when behind poll. The comments disappear for like an hour after we stop, and they pop back up again. It's a YouTube thing. I'm not sure why. Have you posted the video instructions for Discord? I can't find it. Tower Hill Girl, I haven't put the link. That's on my to-do list. I honestly, my wife and I sat down and I made a to-do list. She said, just write down all the things you've promised people to do. and I said, okay, I'm going to do it. And that's on my to-do list. But yesterday morning's live stream. So if you go into live and you look back to what happened yesterday morning, approximately half an hour into it, Amber came on and did a live stream. And that's where it is. It's not a separate video. I haven't extracted it from that. I probably should do that. Yeah, sorry about that. My apologies. Ali Rock Montenay, Renee Fields, thank you both for clicking the subscribe button. Very much appreciate it. Burner phone message, says Mary Kay. Let me check the burner phone. Okay, here we go. I'm going to leave the sound on for Thomas in case he comes on, because the other day he came on. I told him to come on and do a weather update, and I completely forgot that he was there, and he was there the whole time. I ended the show, and I'm like, sorry man, I forgot about you. I didn't think you were there. He was hidden. Let's see. Mary Kay has an update here. It's longer than a message. Is it all right if I read this? Mary, I think I can read this. Terry said that Terry could legally be blind, or be legally blind. Legal blindness occurs when a person has central visual acuity, vision that allows a person to see straight ahead of them, of 20/200 or less in his or her better eye with correction. With 20/200 visual acuity, a person can see at 20 feet what a person with 20/20 vision sees at 200 feet. So he could be legally blind and still be able to see under those parameters. Thank you very much, Mary Kay. It sounds like you know a little bit about vision, about eyesight. Sounds like you've got some experience there. Nurgle Rot, I see your comment got doinked. Sorry about that. He's probably because I voted, and the mods are super protective right now, making sure anything with any political anything in it is getting deleted. Sorry about that. That was my request to them. So if you somehow got swept into the into the political cleanup of the chat, I apologize. But yes, he's indicating that he knows a family member of mine that ran for a very local office, and he says I voted for her. So that's awesome. Oh, did you guys hear that? Did you hear that voice? Like it just floated in. It sounds a lot like Thomas. Thomas, are you there?
Mr. 10K, I am here.
All right. There we go. Oh, I can see. Oh, whoa. I can force you to be on the screen. Look at that. I could force you to be on the screen. You weren't ready for that, were you?
No.
It's a good thing you're dressed. Let me unpin you. I don't know how I do that. Hold on.
When I said I needed 10 minutes, Red Pen said he needed to put a shirt on, grab a hat, and brush his teeth or something.
Okay. All right, I'm going to switch back to your sharing content here briefly. I just wanted to put you on the screen. He is real, guys. He's real. He's with us in person. Oh man, looking at your map, this is also not good news for a few people. What's the breakdown here?
Yeah, so tomorrow, it's sad. Tomorrow's going to be a big day. Those of you that follow weather know, or even read headlines last Friday, ironically in the afternoon / late evening, they're in Rolling Fork, Mississippi. This is modeled to be a very, very similar outbreak in regards to weather. And I thought about it today, actually, when I was pulling up this map. For those of you that don't know, I didn't put these colors. I put the red ink in there with the terrible handwriting. Everything else is actually from the National Weather Service that embeds over my radar software. So I didn't create that. I didn't draw that up myself. That's what's put there from them. What I've drawn out there's a really high low pressure system out there in the west. That's what's dropped all this rain and extra snow out that way. The difference between tomorrow and last week, that low pressure system is going to move to the east and then jump up higher to the north, whereas last Friday it stayed more through the southern plains. And then again, there's a lot of daytime heating. The temperatures are going to rise. There's going to be higher dew points and moisture that are going to climb from the Gulf Coast down in the south all the way up into those areas where you see even in Minnesota and Wisconsin. I think between Wednesday and by tomorrow afternoon, we're going to see anywhere from 20 to 30 degree temperature increases. And that's just the perfect recipe for these storms. So one thing I want to show, this is the severe weather outbreak. So this includes severe thunderstorms, hail, damaging wind, things like that. So you're looking at all your probability areas for that. If we get rid of that and move this, I want to switch it to, we're going to go strictly for the tornado outlook only. Let's see. Sorry.
Oh, man.
So that changes the game. So this is strictly the major tornado warned areas for tomorrow. As you can see in that bottom circle, a lot of those are weather stations that already kind of reside there, but a lot of those are active storm chasers that have already been there for 12 hours preparing and getting ready. Some of them have been in Mississippi. That's their main target area. That northern area you see tomorrow, kind of mid to early afternoon, that's going to be supercells that are somewhat separated. They're going to kind of part ways and create that tornadic, what they call picturesque. They're going to be really fast moving. They're going to be very isolated as they move on. Then later into the afternoon, into the nighttime, and again, leading all the way till midnight, these storms are going to drop south and southeast and kind of congeal into a line, and they're going to come down. So that's why most people are targeting that southern area. That they're all dangerous, right? But it's going to be coming from a straight line, which is even more deadly, and it's nocturnal raiders again.
Nocturnal again. That's a double whammy. Unfortunately, Weather Watch, watching the weather. I'm not trying to say your name, but watching the weather, it helps to have some light, and it's the work that these weather watchers do. These storm chasers do is important, and some things can only be observed on the ground. That the radar can get an indication of something, but it really has to be confirmed on the ground. It makes their job a little difficult and much more dangerous. and for
Yeah.
everybody as well, because it just, you get that much less of a notification. They can't confirm something until they can see it. And just nighttime storms, rain, it can be upon you before you really know what's happening.
You're exactly right, Scott. So the radar systems, everything, it's an amazing tool that we have. It's what allows us to forecast and see when things approach and when they're happening, especially when it comes to rain-wrapped tornadoes that you can't see from the ground. We actually have a mode that we can watch and look and see. But there is a deficiency. For one, there's not enough radar towers in the U.S. for us to depict everything. But the other is what you're saying is ground truth. So that's what storm chasers and storm spotters are good for. They'll be on location. They can see things that the radar might not have picked up because there are radar holes as well. So they will call it in immediately. They'll, emergency services, so they can make announcements. Last Friday, there were, outside of the major one that hit Mississippi, there was others. The tornado was on the ground and there were no sirens, and they were calling them in to emergency services. Sound the sirens in the town now so people know. So that's the whole reason behind, storm spotters and storm chasers. Outside of the science and the data they gather, it's really important what we call that ground truth. So
compare this report and this forecast, I guess I should say, to the big one we had where we lost almost a full town. How does this compare in size and severity as far as the forecast goes?
So unfortunately, this forecast is, in regard to severity, is equal to what we just experienced, but it's kind of double the whammy because now we have that northern severe warned, or I shouldn't say severe warned, but we have that northern risk area that we didn't have last Friday. So last time we can consolidate down in that southern area that's being warned. This time we kind of have two. The only reason everyone's kind of gathered down on that southern one, they think that's going to be the bigger uproar, but that doesn't negate the fact that northern area is going to have tornadoes and damaging tornadoes. And again, where this is warned at again, it's the probability is very, very high. This is from the National Weather Service, to see EF2 to EF5 tornadoes and more than one. It's what they're painting the picture.
I don't remember the speed on an EF5 tornado, but it's faster than you can drive away from it as far as the wind goes.
Yeah.
Now I realize they move slower on the ground, their ground speed, but those winds are vicious. Vicious.
It's extremely vicious. And one thing to keep in mind too, so hurricanes are rated based off of wind speeds alone. Mm-hmm. Tornadoes, they rate the EF rating is basically on the damage and the potential of damage and what comes from it. So you can have a tornado with massive wind speeds out in flatlands and it's not doing much. They won't rate it as high. Right. So what's scary is when they're already pre-ranking the potential, that means they're calling for severe damage and sad to say, but potential loss of life. So I'm not just a weather geek and a nerd, but I'm very passionate about people getting warned and knowing what's coming, because I didn't know about this for the longest time until I fell in love with weather and how important it is and how people don't know when weather even's coming their way the day of. So it's important to know ahead of time.
Absolutely true. It's funny because we get used to on the East Coast, we get used to the hurricane. You mentioned that the hurricane rating, we know exactly. They fly that plane through the middle of the storm, and we know that it's the Category 4 hurricane, and they're just going to build this many miles per hour type thing. We don't really have that opportunity with tornadoes because of their life. It doesn't form and then move 200 miles and they do something. They're shorter events typically, hopefully. But so we don't have that ability. And some of the work that these storm chasers doing, actually even with launching, the sensors on their vehicles or launching a drone or something like that, it's gathering key data that's helping make forecasting better in the future.
You're exactly right. That's what storm chasers are really trying to do. There are some, obviously, they're just trying to capture footage and photography and things like that, which is fine. That's completely fine, and that's awesome. But the vast majority that have the funding, they're trying to get the key data so we can increase the warning systems well ahead of time for people so they can take cover and get out of the way. But you're right. Most tornadoes don't get rated until a day or two after, because the National Weather Service goes on site and they assess all the damage that occurred. And then that's when they give it its official rating of EF0 actually exists all the way to EF5. I believe, if I read right, it was an EF4 in Rolling Fork, Mississippi, which anyone that followed the news, the town is nearly completely decimated. It went on track for 60 some odd miles. My brother actually had a flight over the weekend. He diverted his flight path so he could go over that track. And from over 20,000 feet, he could see the destruction in the path. Yeah. So that's how serious these are. So the whole point of this is really just so anyone in these warned areas, again, Mother Nature knows no boundaries. So even if you're just outside of them, still be weather aware and cautious. Tune into your local weather, have a weather radio. If you have a weather app on your phone, make sure your phone's on loud so you can hear things that come through. It's very important because it can happen in a matter of minutes. And it's life-saving if you know it's potentially a possibility.
All great news. Can we transition a little bit over to the west side of the country? I know we have a lot of people connecting from California, Utah, Oregon, Washington area, Texas as well. So as they're aware of this, I mean, you guys here in Texas, so you know that you guys have these tornado threats as well. But while this is not affecting them, there's more systems. It seems to be like a pattern, like a wave. You go to the beach and there's like wave after wave that's hitting, and it seems to be we're like stuck in this same pattern. It's just like every other week there's another, or every week there's another storm system moving through. Yeah.
So part of the responsibility of this is what they call atmospheric rivers, and that's extreme moisture and precipitation. That's basically, I try to keep things kind of in layman's terms. It's part of the jet stream. And as a lot of people know, but if you don't, the jet stream tends to kind of fall into the U.S. like this in a normal pattern, if you will. But what happens is when these atmospheric rivers with heavy precipitation start happening, this general pattern of the jet stream that's more natural goes away. And it actually just starts doing things like this. It just bulldozes straight in. And the lack of north-south movement removes the lack of energy and moisture. It doesn't get to lose anything. So as it makes landfall, as it comes over, it just starts to drop. So what I changed the map to is
snow in the mountains, and then it hits the plains. We get the tornadoes and everything.
Right. So what I just flipped the map over to is today's outlook, and this is where people are going to see potential thunderstorms or just scattered showers in the area. And for the last, I don't know, what feels like months and months and months, but it's been weeks. There's always been something here in California. Typically, it's been something carved in like this, or it's been more than that, but they've always had something that's coming. Unfortunately, it's caused a lot of destruction, especially the flash flooding, the people up north that have been snowed in. The silver lining is it's going to put a huge dent in the drought that they've been facing for the last few years. That's the one silver lining you can pull from that.
And all my buddies in Utah are saying, drought, what drought? We're at like 200% snowpack, right? It's sad, but the drought that's existed in the Western United States has gone on for so long that even where we're at right now, it's not going to fix it. It doesn't erase the years. You look at Lake Powell, you look at Lake Mead, you look at all those major water systems that provide water through Las Vegas and down into California, and there's just the long history of low water years has left them almost dry, and so we're going to need even more than what we have to get back. It'll take 2 of these years to really get back in good shape.
It'll take a long time, and they talk about for every foot of snow that's out there equals about an inch of rainfall. So the snow melt over the next month and change is going to be huge, because then you'll see those water levels start to rise and rise and rise in those reservoirs. But that's a good thing, because that removes the flash flooding aspect where you get runoff that goes where it doesn't need to go. It runs through creeks, channels, and valleys and bypasses reservoirs. So that is one benefit. But again, there's been so much crazy news out of California with weather. I mean, I think we talked about it last week, even them having a tornado 8 miles outside of downtown LA.
So new to them. They just stood out in the street filming it as it's like down the road from them. They're like, hey, look at this. Everyone's on the front. They didn't know that they should be running for cover, finding a safe place, away from windows. They had no idea the danger. And, I've actually got my own little experience. You've seen those dust devils, right? Occasionally there'll be a dust devil. I'm like, wow, that's impressive. It's like a little mini tornado, right? I saw one of those. I was in a baseball field, and one of these dust devils kicked up in the parking lot, and it comes across. I'm like, oh, this is cool. It's like coming my way, and it's probably 30 feet tall or something, and it's like, this is really cool. And you can see the grass; it's flattening the grass underneath it, and it's picking up some leaves and debris. And I ran over to stand in it, and it just about knocked me over. I'm like, this is a little dust devil storm that's just picking up some weeds and grass that's going to be gone in 15 seconds. And the power of that thing, it was like in my face. I couldn't breathe. Like you'd stuck your head out of an airplane window. It was like, just like it was unbelievable. And multiply that by how many to get to an actual tornado. It is so dangerous. And all those videos that were coming out of California, I'm like, no, guys, please don't do that. Please don't do that.
Yeah, taking pictures, hanging out some videos. It's fun. And to Matthew Harris's point, I'm a Texas native, or not Texas native, but Texas boy along with him. He said, you see the size of that LA tornado. It was so cute. It was small enough for us to catch up and keep as a pet here in Texas. Although that is funny and that is true because it was little. Again, we go back to the rating, and that all has to do with the damage. So that very small tornado in comparison, I believe was rated EF2, if not EF3 is what they rated it, because multiple structures, some were completely totaled and there's injuries involved. So it just goes to show
dangerous.
It's dangerous all the way around.
So Sassy65 says, Recovery Addict, link for Weather Watch guy, please. Where are we at on your channel, Weather Watch?
Yeah, the peer pressure just keeps flooding in. So I do have I have a day job that I have to stay on board with. And then sprinkle in the podcast on Friday nights, which there's a little bit of homework before we do that, even though it seems kind of friendly and relaxed and low key. But I really, really want to do so, and I'm getting closer. I actually just need to get with you, Scott, on a little bit of help.
Awesome.
Because Streamlabs does not love my audio setup at all.
Oh, man.
It does not
we'll
work.
work through that. We'll find a solution.
So I'm 0 for 3. I've struck out so far. But I want to find something that will work so I can do a small forecast like this. And then we don't have to interrupt your show. You can even just maybe play a snippet if we need to so people know what's going on. But it's in the works. I really, really want to do it. I'm behind the 8 ball.
Awesome. Well, I'll cut you slack because you guys, I cannot tell you how much of the burden he shoulders when it comes to running the podcast and getting everything ready. There have been times where I show up as like, "Are you ready? What am I going to talk about?" And he's like, "I've got it all ready for you. It's right here." So thank you so much for that, Thomas. We'll give you a little slack there. Obviously, I'll be in touch and see if we can help you out with anything I can to get you set up.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Scott. So before I click off here, I'll just show again. There's that warned area for tomorrow. If you're anywhere in, around, or near these areas, you're going to see some sort of weather, obviously, as you get closer to that moderate risk in those reds. The tornado potential's in there as well. So just be aware. This is a further north you are, it's an early afternoon to mid-afternoon outlook. And then as the day goes on and into the evening, the further south, that's when that threat starts to really pick up. So just keep your eye on the weather and those around you. If you have loved ones that don't have the internet, don't watch the news, don't have weather radios, spread it to friends and family. You'd be surprised that some people have no idea what's in store for them for that afternoon. And something will come of this tomorrow. That's how serious it really is.
Yeah, and everyone thinks it never affects them until it does. And you don't want to be the one who was caught off guard. Yeah, when there's a chance right now. I mean, if you just changing the batteries in your weather radio and make sure the alarm volume is set so you'll hear it when it goes off, or just become aware of the way that your community notifies regarding a tornado. Now would be a good time to do that.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much, Thomas. As always, we'll be in touch because we have the podcast tomorrow night. Hopefully we won't have any bad news to report after as this will be going on. But look forward to doing that with you tomorrow.
I do too. Thanks so much. And we'll have an eye on it too in case anything comes up. But thanks again for having me, allowing me to use your channel, all your viewers, to spread this news. I love being able to reach out to people so they know what's happening. I really appreciate it, Scott.
Awesome. Thanks, Thomas. We'll catch you later.
All right.
Bye.
Verdict watch.
Yep. I'm going back. All right. Thank you very much, Thomas. We have, I've been keeping an eye on Twitter. I really have. And we've got nothing yet. I've got no news. Let me just double check and get the absolute latest. Let's see, I've got nothing from the Gwyneth Paltrow ski trial. I'm worried that we might have so we've got an update. Jury's now deliberating. The last portion was spent on protecting Gwyneth Paltrow from the press. Whatever the verdict may be. Yeah, okay, that was another update. Still just deliberating. I'm worried we might have like don't take this the wrong way, Florida folk, but we might have another Florida jury on our hands. And I say that only because Florida doesn't have worse juries or worse outcomes than the rest of the country. They just have a very open court system. Because of that, we hear news stories out of Florida very quickly because the police share reports with the media readily. They don't protect it like a lot of other parts of the country do. And so it's the Sunshine State for a reason. They shine light on everything that happens, good and bad, where other people hide their bad. So we hear a lot of bad stories out of Florida. We hear a lot of weird court cases where juries come out with some weird verdicts. We might have another weird verdict in this trial. The longer it goes, the less sure I am of my choice that I thought this was going to be. Obviously, I thought it was going to be an easy decision for the jury, first of all. But let's see. Ooh, do we have one? Verdict has been reached in Terry Sanderson versus Gwyneth Paltrow. Just happened 18 seconds ago. Yay. Okay. Finally, the verdict is in. We need to play some music. Yes. There's the buffer. There's the buffer from Amber because she had it. I think she sent that in before I saw it. But just got notice the verdict is in. Thank you very much. I think we're all in the same notification, people. So now's the time to tell your friends to watch. We're going to have about 20 minutes. Yes, ring the party time. Blower things. It doesn't take too long to calculate $1. This means Gwyneth loses, in my opinion. Content Lasagna, I'm not as confident in my decision as I was before. I'll tell you. I still think that Gwyneth won, but I'm surprised. Maybe they just wanted to make sure and cross, dot every I and cross every T. But let's see. Let's get some. There was another balloon. I'm gonna have a heart attack here today. This is. Let's see. We're gonna do this one. Yes, because it's verdict time. Who was it that was first in chat with the news? Let's see. I don't know who was first in chat with the news. I think we all sort of got it at the same time, but I'll tag Thomas there.
You especially want to go to court if it's bullshit charges because you get them thrown out.
Little sage advice for Gwyneth Paltrow.
By gosh, go down and fight them. By gosh, make them work for it.
Can you fight charges and win?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah. Okay, so I stopped the music on accident. We're going to have to start it again. Sorry. There it is. We'll keep those going in the background here. This is great music for verdicts as we get pumped up. Let me bring up the super source so we can see. Whoa, that's trippy. As we fade into the oblivion here. Let's see what was. Oh, that's because I was running Zoom still. Let's go ahead and quit that. End the meeting. There we go. All right. There we go. Balloons make a good jump. It makes me pop, pop, pop.
I want to keep back taking it easy. It's not
So we've got we're gonna have 2 verdicts in one day. I'm not sure when was the last time we had 2 verdicts in one day. Yes, we're gonna have about 20 minutes for court to get everybody together. I imagine the parties are not far from the courthouse. Tomorrow we're going to focus on Sarah Boone, but we may switch to something else starting Monday. It might even be Letitia, but we'll see.
Alex stole it.
So 2 hours and 30 minutes. I'm sorry, Dodie. We've got to party a little bit. We've waited a long time for this moment. Not that we're celebrating one person's loss or another person's win, but just that we're celebrating that we survived another court case, that we sat through everything that we did, and that we now have reached a. Let's see, we've reached a verdict. Michelle Stark says, Recovered X YouTube channel where a 65-year-old like myself can rave and techno music dance without seen doing it. Will Sarah Boone be allowed to attend her pretrial hearing? I think she is allowed. I'm not sure if she will be transported. I think her attorney has to line that up, and he might not be doing it. Will they say if it was all in agreement? Yes, we're going to hear. I imagine we'll hear a polling of the jury. I think that's appropriate, and we'll hear the numbers. So we'll hear if there's a holdout, which we've never. Normally they don't hear that unless there's a hung jury. But, okay. See lawyers dancing to this. Some lawyers are going to dance tonight. Others are going to be a little sad.
There's a lawsuit.
There's a lawsuit for sure. High-speed drifter. Somehow I'm skeptical that Sarah Boone will move forward. Hope I'm wrong. There's so many reasons to delay, unfortunately.
Let no dead horse go unbeaten.
There's unfortunately so many reasons to delay. Mimi says, took music earbuds out. Music better. I need to do better. We could do some soft piano for people, but it just doesn't have the same vibe as that. 2 hours, 32 minutes, 33 seconds, according to Law and Crime, says girl in Texas on the verdict watch. Polling the jury sounds wrong. It's important that the jury can indicate that the vote is theirs because they have a foreman that speaks for them.
That is not relevant.
Okay, so we've got people filing in. We're not going to miss it. This is the verdict will be announced here in about 15 minutes. Has not started yet. This is this place to be though. We're going to watch it here live. Where can I see the sound bites? Randy Rabbit, if you type / commands in chat, it will go ahead and put a list of that on the screen, or a list of the possible options that you can type. Not all of them trigger sound effects, but if you see one in chat like cackle, that's one. Funny, unfortunately, isn't. Well, yes, I think it is. Funny is Amber. Cackle is the Jensen attorney. So there's the commands. There you go. You got that part.
Alex stole it.
And the response is coming here shortly, right there. Bring the jury. So you can check out the list of commands. All these that have like late, new, addict, mug, burner, all these are commands. Some of them trigger a response with the bot, and some of them trigger sound effects. So like lawsuit and subject matter jurisdiction, that's not my name, things like that. Bee, cat, camel, cackle, squirrel, Alex. Alex has a couple different options. It actually cycles through. Anyway, so those are your sound effects you can trigger just by typing ! And then typing that. And you do not have to be a member or even you have to be a subscriber, but you don't have to be a member to do those. Most of those are open to everybody.
We're talking about stuff that is not relevant.
Yes, if everyone knows the commands, it does get crazy, and it does. We keep the commands open for when there's not testimony, when there are things happening in court that we want to follow. We go ahead and shut those off. Can we have a pinned? Can someone give me a? Let's see. Jen Mitch, you are a member right now. You are a member. Somebody, if you didn't intentionally become a member, somebody gifted you a membership, which happens fairly frequently around here. But if your name is green, you become a member. You can do that by either clicking the join button on the channel page, usually through like a computer browser. Some phones have it as well. But let's see. What does the peeps sound? Peeps. Okay, everyone has to be really quiet because Randy Rabbit wants to hear peeps. So nobody can do any of their sound effects for just a second, and one person's going to do peeps. There it is. Here it comes. Ready? Wait for it. That's not it. Why is peeps not working? Is Peeps broken? It should be a chirp. We're all sitting here straining our ears, and I glanced around and the Peeps are already here. Let me see if I can trigger it myself. There it is. That little chirp. That's all it is. Just a single cheep from a chick is the Peeps sound effect.
I was kicked back, taking it easy.
Finally, the case is over. Yes, it is. What did the fox say? Funny story behind that song. If you look into that, they wrote it as a joke, and then they went ahead and made a fortune off of it and changed their lives forever. Made it for the verdict, T-Rox. You did. You're in time. It's going to happen here in just a few minutes.
Alex stole it as well.
It's the chipmunk sound. It's actually recording. If I cut it out of a long list of or a long recording of chicks that I think Tag sent to me. If you guys have suggestions for other sounds that are appropriate at pretty much any trial, you can make suggestions and I will try to get them added. Peep needs a volume increase. I can do that right now. Hold on. The difference with Peeps is that it's allowed to be played any time, really. Commands. Peeps. Audio. So 15%. I'm going to bring it up to 30. We'll test it. Is that better? Apply. Okay. We've got Peeps. Peeps has had an audio burst, a volume burst. Not burst. Burst is the wrong word. I don't know what I'm thinking of. Boost. That was it.
I was kicked back, taking it easy.
We do not have a gavel sound yet, mostly because it's that and opening the door are two requested sounds that I can't really. I want it to be very obvious that that's the sound you're hearing. And sometimes it just sounds like something else, like a board breaking or something. Okay. We need a gong sound. Like it's the Gong Show. It's like, okay, you're done. Sit down. Maybe land the plane. Land the plane might be a good one. I'm being told to land the plane. Okay, so we're waiting anxiously for action from the courtroom as people are taking their seats. I think we'll start to get camera footage here soon.
Bring the jury.
Switching. There we go. Okay. Oops. Got too many of the same thing. There we go. Is Peeps too loud?
A camel.
I was kicked back, taking it easy.
Alex stole it.
Okay. Is that better? I dropped it back down. Okay, why I've got the wrong thing showing in the wrong place. There we go.
There's a lawsuit.
Okay, we need an objection. Eileen, you're hanging on till the end. You're almost there. We've got about 10 or 12 minutes until we have a verdict announcement. So super excited to have this one done. Under 3 hours is fast for most of the other trials, but it seems for some reason it seems long on this civil case where a lot of us, I think we haven't had a case like this where so many of us were on the same side as far as who would prevail in the case. And so I think that made it seem a lot longer than it was. All right, I've asked my kids gently to not bounce balls against the door of my office while we're live for just a few minutes. Where is Easy from? Judy, that sound effect was from the Knoxville arraignment video of a gentleman who was charged with urinating in public, or a derivative charge related to that. And the judge there gave him a lot of advice. But in part of that, he was explaining to the judge what he had been doing. He says, I was just kicked back, taking it easy. And up come the cops, and they arrest me.
There's a lawsuit.
But he was already done peeing, apparently. And anyway. You believe it's going to be a squash, just flat, nobody gets anything? I think, who's that? Slow chat, please. See if I can find my last comment. The problem with slowing chat is if you're a member, you're exempt from slow chat rules. That is a YouTube setting. I cannot slow you down. Being a member allows you to talk a lot more than people who are not members. That's one of the perks. Let's see. Amber, I'm... how far back was it? Can you copy and paste it? I can't find it. Let's see. Don't forget to update the stream title. Can you also add text sticker to the court countdown that says verdict in? I've got... let me try. Verdict reached. How about that? I'll do verdict reached. Thank you for that.
Bring the jury.
Okay, change the
I was
thumbnail.
kicked back, taking it easy.
Still nothing from the court but the wall. Okay.
Are we going to address subject matter jurisdiction?
There we go. Here we go. We've got Mr. Sykes, Mr. Bueller, the refrigerator, and I don't remember her name, coming in. There's Terry as well, with Terry's friend or dad. I'm not sure which.
Bring the jury.
All right, we're going to take that full screen so we can watch everything that's happening in the courtroom as it happens. No sound yet. Sorry about that. The decorum order has been lifted, so we may get much more video during this part than the rest, because the restrictions that we were operating under before are not quite the same. Lisa, unfortunately, no. The dozen eggs. There's too much sound in the background, things like that, and it was not a good sample. So I don't think we'll be able to do the dozen eggs clip. Hide and seek should be a command for Sarah Boone. We need to do something special for the Sarah Boone case. There's got to be something we can allow in. Charles Bronson has lost a parole board bid to be freed from jail. That's an update today. Still waiting for a Bite Me soundbite. Mosquito buzzing, does that work? I'll think there's one in my headphones, but we could do that. A zipper sound for the Boone case. Is that too soon? I mean, it might always be too soon to do that. You guys didn't like my idea of having a zipper keychain fob for merch, a merch idea, but luggage tag maybe? Is Boone on for tomorrow? Yes, Gail, Boone is on for tomorrow, but it's just a pretrial hearing. The actual court is not supposed to start until the 10th of April. So we read this morning the new letter from Sarah Boone, or at least most of the new letter. The court has not yet provided the entire letter, which we're hopeful that they will update and remedy. But they scanned half the letter into the system, and we read the half that they scanned. I'm going to check again just to see if they have the rest of the pages yet.
Yeah, it's you, Jody.
Judge is back.
Your Honor, do you want my client here?
I don't have any preference, so it's up to your clients. If they want to.
She wants to be here for the jury. Are we not letting the press in, or what's the purpose of this moment?
I assumed everybody was already in. You can go ahead and let them in. Oh, he's just going through the guidelines? Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Gwyneth is going to be coming in here, I think.
And just to verify with the court TV and with the AP reporter, or the AP photographer, if you could listen to me for just a minute. No, I mean, I know this goes without saying, but no pictures of the jury. Thank you.
Yeah, but we can keep a camera locked on Gwyneth. That's allowed this time.
So no objection to bringing in the audience if you want.
Okay, I'm going to turn down the sound effects just for a little bit.
They're just being briefed right now.
The audience is being told that they can't have an outburst at the response. Carla, if somebody's done the commands within a minute before you, this is the response that you're going to get. It only shows the command once a minute. So if you scroll up a little bit in chat, you'll be able to see it. Like right here, there's the command just a few lines above you. But a lot of the commands have a 1 minute timer, so they can only happen once a minute.
Jody, are you okay? Oh, yes, I'm still on time. Okay.
And you know, if Terry's daughters are there, I haven't seen them. There's Shirt Guy. Looking good, tucked in. Hikes up the belt. I'm not seeing the daughters, but the court's going to be packed here. They're really filling it in each row. I'm going to go full screen on my screen so I can see every detail. Seeing some new faces that I haven't seen before. Superman's in the house. No coughing.
All right, I think we've got everyone in here that wants to come in. If you could be seated, and I'd like to just say a few things before we call the jury in. There is a verdict in the case. I think you've all been told that. Before the jury enters, I just want to say a few things that I say in every case. The court appreciates that this has been a long and difficult trial for the parties and their counsel, and that emotions may be running high. The court reminds everyone that there should be no outward reaction when the verdict is read, and that these proceedings are not over until the court has been adjourned. Most importantly, and regardless of the verdict, the jury has sacrificed more than 8 days of their time to serve, and they are entitled to be shown the same courtesy and respect that they have been shown throughout these proceedings. I want to remind the people that are all here that there are strict orders that are in place concerning the use of phones, cameras, recording devices. Unless you've been approved, and there are only 2 people in here that have been approved for capturing anything by video, by audio, or by still, you should not use your cell phone or any other device that might capture those things. Thank you. Ready for the jury?
It says habit on my shirt, salty.
And I have been impressed with how well everyone has been throughout this proceeding, so thank you all.
Bring the jury. There's another balloon.
For those that are arriving late, there's no use of any recording devices at all.
Can't see the other side, but I assume it's packed as well. Gwyneth is whispering in Mr. Owen's ear. Jury's making a dramatic entrance, delaying it for a moment. I'm going to be quiet during this, and all the sound effects are turned off so you guys can listen.
Thank you. For the record, the jury is now in the courtroom and the parties are present with their attorneys. Would the foreperson that the jury has selected please stand and state your number?
Number 19.
Thank you. Has the jury reached a verdict?
We have.
Will you please hand it to the bailiff, and the bailiff will bring it to me? Thank you. You may be seated. Thank you. We'll now have the clerk read the verdict. You can just read the question and the answer.
Was Gwyneth Paltrow at fault? No. Was Gwyneth Paltrow's fault a cause of Terry Sanderson's harm? Oh, no, skip that.
There's just no response there.
Okay. Was Terry Sanderson at fault? Yes. Was Terry Sanderson's fault a cause Gwyneth Paltrow's? Did Terry Sanderson's fault cause Gwyneth Paltrow's harm? Yes. Comparative fault. What % of the fault do you assign to Terry Sanderson? 100%. Damages. What amount fairly compensates Gwyneth Paltrow for economic damages? $1. Signed March 30th, 2023.
Thank you. So to juror number 19, the foreperson, is this your verdict?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. And the attorneys have asked that I poll the jury, and so I need to ask each one of you if this is your verdict. This is not an unusual thing to happen. It happens quite often. So number 16, is this your verdict?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Number 11, is this your verdict?
Yes, Your Honor.
Number 8, is this your verdict?
Yes, Your Honor.
Number 2, is this your verdict?
Yes, Your Honor.
I've already covered number 19. Number 28, is this your verdict?
Yes, Your Honor.
Number 29, is this your verdict?
Yes, Your Honor.
And number 32, is this your verdict?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. So to the attorneys, is there anything further before I discharge the jury?
Nothing for the plaintiff.
No, thank you, Your Honor.
Okay.
Thank you to the jury.
Let me just read you the last jury instruction. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, this trial is finished. Thank you for your service. The American system of justice relies on your time and your sound judgment, and you have been generous with both. You served justice by your fair and impartial decision. I hope you found the experience rewarding. You may now talk about this case with anyone you like. You may be contacted by the press or by the lawyers. You do not have to talk to them or with anyone else, but you may. The choice is entirely yours. I turn now to the lawyers and to the press and ask them to honor your wishes if you say that you do not want to talk about the case. If you do decide to talk about the case, please respect the privacy of your fellow jurors. The confidences that they may have shared with you while deliberating are not yours to share with others. Again, thank you for your service. You may now retire. And if everybody else would please remain here, we've got some things to do.
All rise for the jury.
Those things to do involve lawyers' fees, I think. The jury is not going to decide the details about the lawyers' fees. The judge does that. So there's a chance that Mr. Terry Sanderson is out for a lot more than $1.
May be seated. So I've got a few things I'm going to do with the parties, and then I'm going to ask everyone who's still in the courtroom at that point to remain seated while the parties leave. So anyone who wants to be outside when the parties leave, please do that now.
Everyone's like, that's when you
so
get
Mr.
yourself.
Mr. Owens, I'm looking to you to prepare a judgment on the jury verdict.
Perfect.
Will you do that?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Sykes, is there anything further for the court before the court adjourns?
No, my client just wants to say thank you to Your Honor for the effort you made to. Okay?
Thank you. Mr. Owens, is there anything further from the defense before the court adjourns?
No, thank you, Judge, and to all your staff and the bailiffs.
Let me just comment that I appreciate the professionalism that all the attorneys have shown and the parties, so thank you. This court is now adjourned. Thank you.
Let my client slip out before.
Yes, everyone remain seated while the parties leave.
I'm going to make a quick statement. Ms. Paltrow is not going to be making a statement today.
So you can make the statement outside, Mr. Owens.
I will do that.
Okay.
Okay. I don't know what she said to him as she walked by, but she said something, and it seemed polite. It seemed like a polite thing. Wrong answers only. What did Gwyneth Paltrow say to Terry Sanderson as she walked out? Keep it family friendly, please. This is. I think it was something nice. I honestly think it was something nice. But you've got to realize you've got 5 attorneys on that other side who are going home without a paycheck. They work on a contingency, and all the work they put in, and all the costs that they've accrued. Because hiring all those expert witnesses, it's not cheap. All those that hits the bottom line, and that's not something they can cash in. There's no one to turn in the pay stubs to. We're going to watch for just a minute as I'll keep an eye on. Let's see. I'll keep an eye on everything that's happening. So let's go over here. pretty sure there's going to be a press conference very soon that we're going to try to catch, probably in the next 10 minutes or 15 minutes or so. So we'll keep an eye out on that. What do you guys think? I don't know why the delay, why it took 2.5 hours to reach that conclusion, but it was unanimous. And they did not need a unanimous decision, but they got one. What about the fees? The judge is going to determine that at a different time, and basically it's going to be turning in the receipts and then assigning the fees across. I assume that's going to just be almost a clerical type operation, not really a deliberation type operation. Anyone want to go skiing? Depends, Katie. You promise not to hit me in the back? Wow. See you on the slope soon, Terry. I think I really wish Terry well. I think hopefully that he's able to move on from this. This has been his life for a long time. Hopefully he can move on. This doesn't consume him. Sadly, some people are not able to get over something like that. They feel wronged, and it becomes all they can see. But hopefully that's it. She said, "Take care." She said, "Nice try. Let's go skiing again. Tell him to stop skiing. See you on the mountain." Did he pull the jury? He did. It was unanimous. Sassy, I can't slow down the chat much more because we have so many members on this channel. It's which is a wonderful thing. It's a great thing. I'm not complaining. But members do not have the same restrictions on chat. They can chat much more often than non-members. Non-members are already slowed down on chat. Let's see. She wished well. I'm just trying to keep up. I'm sure she kept it classy. No hard feelings. You want a candle? Oh man. I think she said take care. I don't think he's going to be miserable, but hopefully this doesn't become his identity. She handed Terry her therapist card. I thought she said, "I want my dollar," but I don't think I can slow down members, Beautiful Waterfall. I think that's one of the privileges of being a member, is being able to express your opinion on a regular basis on the channel without restriction. So that's, she said, "Keep the dollar." I don't want your lousy buck. He'll be scuba diving and whitewater rafting within the next month. You're a member and Slow Chat impacts you too. Michelle, that's news to me. Maybe I was completely wrong. It takes, it's set at 60 seconds. So once a minute, everyone can chat. If it was her fault, an accident, he shouldn't have sued for that much. Terry did have issues, but sometimes that happens. I don't know. I don't fault him for the $3 million. If he really had the things that he said wrong and he was able to prove it, I think they probably would have. I mean, if he had the evidence on his side as far as fault and the impact, I think $3 million might have been a reasonable jury decision. Just cash up the buck. She said, "Be well, Terry." If he doesn't have the money to pay, what happens then? I don't know. You know, it's he's going to be ordered to pay, and he may or may not pay. I don't know if she's going to pursue it, because then she would have a civil claim against him, and she could do a judgment and order assets to be turned over, things like that. But I don't know how far she's going to go. Yeah, "I don't want your dollar." I think that's what she said. Is slow chat the same as slow mode? Yes, it is, Big Sky DMC. When we have a lot of people in chat like we do right now, we've got 1,200 some odd people. It's slower. There should be a press conference, and we're watching for it right now. I'm going to pull up another feed as we speak, just to see if it comes on there sooner. Okay. Not seeing any feeds that have it right now. Yeah, it was a solid win. You could not have had more of a win, Lisa, for Gwyneth Paltrow. Susie, in this particular case, although there are multiple cameras in the courtroom, the feed is only transmitting one camera at a time. So they're not recording every camera's footage. They're only recording what is shown at whatever camera is selected at the time. So I have 8 cameras on my desk. I can switch between 8 feeds. They probably have 4, 5, 6 cameras in the courtroom as well. But whichever one is active at the time is the only one they have the memory on, because they don't have one of these cool machines that can record everything and go back and look at a different camera. They should call me. I can do a better job for them. They need to get every angle. Court TV has a press conference. Let me pull that up. Just one second. I'm not seeing it live just yet. Let's see. Their feed stopped. I'm not seeing a live press conference there. Is there a Waffle House in Utah? Not that I'm aware of. We got them over here in North Carolina. We've got plenty of them here. She went in sync on him and said, bye, bye, bye. Thanks, Canes fans. I was mistaken. I thought it wasn't affecting members. I'm wrong. I'm hunting all over for the press interview. It's going to be somewhere. Okay, Fox 13 is carrying it. That's a local station in Utah. Let's pull that up here.
We haven't just been sitting around. There's been lots of work to do. So you look back on that and you go,
does the court then allow me to publish these prior to them being?
We got the outcome we wanted. It doesn't feel like the effort. I should have gotten the Olympic Games. We would have gotten some medal, like a silver or something, right? But no, it didn't work out that way.
That's it. Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much.
It's nice.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for your kindness.
Good luck. Thank you.
Let's see if we can back this up a little bit.
It. Pleasure meeting you.
Thank you.
Bob, thank you.
One of the ones that get that. It turned out it was about how
years we fought.
A while.
Okay, so
7 years in the making now.
Here's the interview here.
Time. How does it feel that there's is there some conclusion now?
I just backed it up a little bit.
Just how are you feeling about that?
It takes too long to get to this point to get closure like that. It will be a while to get back to my life again.
You put a lot out, and this was national attention. A lot of people watching, a lot of your personal life just out there. How is all of that making you feel now?
Well, we joked about it a bit. It's so much for dating sites, right? There's way too much information out there for me, and so, yeah, I'll start over again and spend more time with family.
Anything else you want to add about, all of this, kind of what's next, what this means to you?
Well, I like the term that he used, we fought the good fight. We worked very hard on this. It's hard to try a case. It's a lot of evidence. A lot of things happen that we don't agree with, but that happens in every trial, okay? But Terry conducted himself nobly. He kept us cool. He stayed with us. He helped us. We're grateful for that. So he's a good man.
So is there anything you would redo or do differently?
Well, I rethink a little bit about how I could be characterized. That's a real disappointment. that it wasn't just about the facts of the accident, was it? You know, there were things brought up like anxiety, which I got a prescription for in 91, and I refilled it one time a few months ago for this trial, like enough for 12 days in 91. But that stays in your record as having that issue for the rest of your life. And there were many of those kinds of things that, no, I'm not that crazy person. I think that I listened to that whole thing about how I was characterized, and it wasn't just about the accident, it wasn't. It's about the character. They drugged that character in there. And, you know, yeah, I wish I could have that back. But when you go down this, I didn't realize that when you go down this row, I thought it'd be about a ski accident, that I knew I had the truth, the absolute facts, and it wasn't about that. It turned out it was about the narrative about the life I've lived, things said that absolutely were not true, and I'll never get a chance to change that.
Did Gwyneth Paltrow say something to you as she left?
She did. I wish you well, she said to me.
I wish you well.
That was very kind. Yeah.
Very nice. Very kind.
She did.
And, you know, the jury found 100% fault for you. How do you reconcile that with all your injuries and everything that you've been through?
Well, obviously I missed somewhere in communicating the issues I have, and I didn't get a chance to talk about many of the other issues. One of those I call the walk of shame. You know, you walk to the fridge and you go, why am I here? What if you did that all day long? What if it was like the very next thing you did, you turned and did something else and went, why did I do that? And I remember putting on double the miles, triple the miles of what I should have walked in a day by just back and forth and undoing and redoing. So those kinds of issues are very real. In fact, I'll tell you a cute story if you don't mind. You get so down on yourself if you're doing that all the time, going from walk of shame to walk of shame, why am I here, what am I doing, that I read about the invention of the dog clicker by a husband and his wife who used it to train seals and penguins and such, and now dogs, and condition them to a good response. And so I told one of my daughters, I think I need a dog clicker. I need to be reminded of the good things. I'm losing track of that. And I got a little gift in the mail with a little tag said, good boy. And I clicked that clicker, you know, and it got, after 2 weeks, what's amazing is that you don't need to click the clicker. All you have to do is think about, I'm going to get the clicker and click it, and the goodness is done. The good hormones, the dopamine is running in your brain, and so it worked. It helped me get me out of the doldrums when I was having these issues, and I still do. I got it out the other day again.
So once and for all...
One last question.
Okay, the GoPro video. Is there a GoPro video?
There never was. If there was, I would have locked that thing up behind security, because it would have shown the absolute truth that I wished for, and we tried to encourage it to come out of the woodwork, and it never did. Never had one. It actually is a link to the lady who saved me and got me off the mountain, who came, Whitney, and got me. It was a link to that and said, here's a witness, an eyewitness, meaning she was an eyewitness to what I left, what condition I left in. And I just praised her, sang her praises for getting me off the mountain.
Thanks,
Can I
folks.
ask one more quick question?
That's it, one more.
Okay, what do you want people to, you know, who are watching this trial, who know what was happening, what do you want them to be able to take away at the end of this?
The takeaway is the preparation for this by the attorneys, by the team of people, and the time they invested in this, that you don't see them doing, is so significant. They get so vested in this. And of course, I participate in that too. And it's a huge expense of your personal energy going in that direction. So you got a lot committed to that. And so that's all the work you don't see. And for 7 years, we haven't just been sitting around. There's been lots of work to do. So you look back on that and you go, well, I'm not so sure we got the outcome we wanted. It doesn't feel
We're
like
about to switch over to
the
the
effort.
other,
I should have gotten
the other feed. They're doing a white
Olympic
balance
Games.
right now.
We'd gotten some medal, like a silver or something, right? But no, it didn't work out that way.
That's it. Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much.
It's nice.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for your kindness.
time.
Good
luck.
We're going to switch to the other
Thank you
feed
so much.
right now.
Appreciate it.
Pleasure meeting you.
Thank you.
Bob?
Okay, so we've got... Here's the other press conference happening. This is live.
Step up a little bit. Yeah. Okay.
I'm sorry, we're only getting the audio in the right ear.
So there's an email
slip where you're going to get a longer statement, but this is a 3-sentence statement.
There's James. Are you reading a statement?
3 sentences.
Okay.
Any further statements will be through this email. We're pleased with this outcome and appreciate the judge and jury's thoughtful consideration and handling of the case. Gwyneth has always had a history of advocating for what she believes in, and this statement was no different. And she will continue to stand up for what is right. Any further statements will be made through an email, press@harmonyhouse.com.
Steve, we just went live on the air. Could you read that statement again, please?
Yeah, since I botched it.
One more time, for the record. Steve Owens, attorney.
This is James.
The only thing you botched today, Steve.
Paltrow, James
You're okay.
The feeds are a little off. It's just a different camera angle there.
We're pleased with this outcome and appreciate the judge and jury's thoughtful handling of this case. Gwyneth has a history of advocating for what she believes in. This situation was no different, and she will continue to stand for what she believes is right. Thank you. Any further statements will be made through press@harmonyhouse.com. Thanks, everyone.
Did you have a conversation with her after
Sure.
today, and what did she say to you?
Thumbs up. Very happy.
Okay.
Easy for a second.
Yeah, you good? Sorry, I'm sorry.
Attorney for Gwyneth Paltrow, a 3-sentence statement this afternoon.
Everyone's fighting for to bug out their live views.
Email address.
Okay, so that's pretty much everything. That's all we're gonna get. The cameraman has dropped the camera. This is not an intentional shot. Looking at her knees.
The jury's part of they're not going to come back with
Okay.
They do. Come on. Do I feel like I let you down? These are the resources that celebrities have. Okay. We did it.
We're not done yet.
What are we going to do?
The Q&A.
What time?
I'm not.
Whoa. It's chaos. This is normal reporter chaos, though.
Yeah.
You got one camera doing this. It's media mayhem is happening right outside there. You got lights. Everyone's set up for to be first to the air. Looks like Channel 2 is doing fine.
I got both of them. I got them both.
No, meeting. Terry's saying.
Oh.
Anyway, okay. So that's all that's happening. There we have it. That was the whole thing. You want the party horns. The sound is back on. And somebody honked a horn, like an air horn, and it blew out my right eardrum. Andy, thank you much. Appreciate the tip, Andy. It's been fun to sit through this trial with you. It was actually more enjoyable than I thought it would be when we first started, and that was a lot of fun. So thank you all for your patience, as this wasn't true crime. This is civil law, which is a little different. Thanks for getting us to the 13th juror once again. You're welcome, Gail. Thank you for being here. Appreciate all of you. Thanks to all the mods. That gets a little crazy there on Verdict Watch, and it goes nuts, as you can hear Amber in the background laughing. It does go a little bit nuts, and that's all right. You guys did a great job. Thanks for keeping the reins on the thing. Wow, did they do that to you, Scott? In which way? When and where? Here's a fun fact from Matthew Harris. Had the jury come back and said that the GP was 20% responsible, that $1 award could have been reduced to 80 cents. It's a good thing they didn't do that. Could have broke the bank.
Just subject matter jurisdiction.
Gwyneth is now probably flying out of Utah. She's probably had enough of Utah for a little while. She's probably just, she's not going to hit the slopes this weekend. She's just going to get out of town, I think. Thank you, Abby. Appreciate it. We'll see you tomorrow. We're going to have not Gwyneth. We're going to have Sarah Boone's hearing tomorrow, which is going to be fantastic. Get an update and see if the case moves forward on April 10th, as we hope. Our fingers are crossed for that one. Lisa says, thank you, Recovery Addict. Great coverage of this. I would never have watched this one on my own. So many great people in this wonderful family. Lisa, you are one of them. Thank you so much for being here and what you add to the channel. You rock. Thanks again for another awesome day. You do, Diana. Thank you. Civil court, but interesting, says Debbie. Thank you from Michelle Johnson to Recovery Addict and all the mods. Good evening, everyone in chat. It's time to be done. Really, it is. We're 7 o'clock. This is where we've normally been finishing. It'll be good to get back on a regular schedule, like an East Coast trial, where we have some hours of sunlight left when court's over. That was fun. Thank you for being here for all of us. Thank you, and perfectly imperfect. Sorry, I got that backwards, Lisa. Best chill chat and channel ever. Thanks, Melmac. You guys make it great. Has anyone mentioned the guy in the audience that was excited to be there? Yes, we called him Shirt Guy, Angelina. He was wearing a plaid shirt today. He was wearing like an orange shirt another day. He really stood out. But what stood out most was that his head, as he's craning to see all the jurors' faces and the facial expressions. I think he was actually the cause of the judge reading some instructions to the gallery, telling them, hey, tone down your reactions type thing. You can't do anything. Thank you, Patricia, very much. All of you. Ann, Miss Beezy, I see you there. East Coast trials are greater than the West Coast trials. They only are better because of the time slots. Another amazing broadcast day. Thank you, 6-Volt Bus. Appreciate you. Police chase, not that I know of. It's been sort of a crazy police day with a couple of reports of shootings. So not good police news. And after the police chase we followed earlier this week that ended tragically for the driver, I'm a little gun shy right now. Thank you, Red Pen. Thanks for being here throughout all of it. Let's see. What time do we start tomorrow? Same time, Lisa. We're going to do 9 o'clock in the morning. If you've just stumbled across this channel and wonder what it is, we do this every day, 9 a.m. Welcome. Please come back. We'll do this again. New trial. Sarah Boone information coming up tomorrow. We're going to see if we can get some more letter information, see if that gets fixed. And if so, we'll read the whole letter tomorrow as well. So that'll be fun. Wow, there's another Angelina in chat, says Angelina Knox. I'm sad it's over. I want Terry to tell me another lie story. Another trial in the books. Peace and love. Storm safety. Yeah, everybody, please stay safe. Weather Watch gave us that update about what's coming tomorrow. Please follow, heed, prepare now. Will you make a clip of the balloons? I'm going to make a clip of Mr. Sykes, of all his coughs and snorts. And that's going to be his entire closing statement. So I'm going to try to put that together tonight. We're covering Sarah Boone's trial, pre-trial hearing tomorrow. And then we'll be switching to a new trial for next week. Thank you, May. Thanks to all those who stayed up super late over in the UK and beyond. Thank you. Through Scandinavia, you guys are amazing. I don't know how you do it. You're amazing. I love you all. You guys are incredible. Tonight when you go home, please hug the people you love, smile at someone, make their day just a little bit better, and please stay safe till we go live again. It'll be tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Eastern Time. We'll see you here. It's going to be fun. Don't miss it. Thanks.